I want to stay on this lead up to the 2020 election because we have heard a lot of promises from candidates who are appealing to communities and towns with a message that as president, they can help. But with gridlock in Washington, local leaders are taking it upon themselves to help their own. They have said they are fed up. My next guest is the mayor of a town that has for years been dealing with serious issues on a very local and life-threatening level. Flint, Michigan. Mayor Karen Weaver joins us now. Mayor, thank you for being here. What is the #1 issue for the people of Flint, Michigan?
Well, the #1 issue has to continue to be having access to clean and affordable water. That's what we've been talking about, and we're still reeling from what happened when our water was poisoned by lead. And while we've made a lot of progress in Flint, our big challenge is our in-home plumbing, the appliances. Those things were damaged, and so while our water tests better, we're changing those pipes. If those things were damaged, you will still have lead-poisoned water. And we've been talking with the government about making Flint whole. That has to be one of the main issues that we're still fighting for, and we want to be an example to everyone else around this country about being a spokesperson for clean water and the importance of infrastructure. But also we have some of the same challenges that other communities have when you want to talk about public safety and having funding for police and fire. That's extremely important, and opportunities for jobs. That's what we're looking at, and that's what we want to hear, is that we will have someone in the White House that has our back to make Flint whole, but also those other challenges that we deal with that other communities, especially urban communities, are struggling with right now.
Mayor Marianne Williamson brought this up at the debate, saying the water issue would not have happened in an affluent area like Grosse Pointe, Michigan. She has said we have to stop making race a social issue, and it's a human and economic one. How do we do that? And do you agree with her?
You know what? We wholeheartedly agree with her. That's one of the things we have talked about in Flint all along, and it was something that we knew. And we said this would not have happened someplace else, and if it did happen someplace else, it would have been corrected immediately, because we would not have and should not have had to wait 18 months, a year and a half, before what we knew. We knew we were drinking poisoned water before that was validated. So, 18 months is a long time, and it's too long. So, yes, we agree with that, and that was what we talked about. If this had happened someplace else, this would have been corrected, and that it hasn't been, that we haven't been made whole, and that no one has been held accountable. No one has been held accountable for what's happened in Flint. When you have kids that have been damaged and we've had loss of life, we've had 13 people die from Legionnaires, and no one has been held accountable. And so we're still waiting, and that would have happened as well.
Are there any specific candidates appealing directly to your constituents? I know you haven't endorsed any candidates, but you did attend the last debate as Joe Biden's guests. And we actually spoke to some voters in your area who said, we need something new and different. We've been suffering for a long time.
You know what? I've had conversation with many of the candidates, and the two that have reached out to me the most have been Joe Biden and Cory Booker. So while no endorsement has been made, because we're still in conversation, and I think I heard you say it earlier, this is a marathon and not a sprint. And so we're waiting to see what the other candidates have to say, because we want somebody that is going to be a spokesperson for Flint, that's going to help make us whole and make sure that this never happens anyplace else in the country.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.